4 fouls with like 13 minutes left. You come back in with 7:47. Walk me through the final 7 minutes, 7+ minutes of play from your perspective. You kind of just took over.
Defensively, just trying to stay solid, make them shoot over my length. I was playing a little handsy at first, and I picked up some unnecessary fouls. So just trying to play solid, slide my feet, and make them shoot over was the thought defensively, and then just trying to knock down shots and catch every ball that was thrown to me and put it in the basket, really.
Is it tough to play that aggressive while you have 4 fouls?
Yeah, I say so, especially with the game that close. You don't want to sit the bench for the rest of the game. You want to be out there and help the team. So it's definitely in the back of my mind. But I can't play timid. I just got to play smart.
Oh, sorry, Jabari.
No, okay.
Sorry to cut you off there. Evan, Carlson in the first half was near unstoppable. It seemed like no matter who you guys had on him, if it was a double team, he was getting to the rim. He had a couple 3-pointers, but the second half you guys held him in pretty good check. I think he only had 4 points in the second half, 21 in the first. What was the message at halftime? How did you guys go about kind of just switching things up or just trying to take him out of the game?
Well, they run some plays for him. We weren't really, doing what we were supposed to do on the defensive end to defend those plays. And, in the second half, we started to lock in and starting to think more of a team defensive mindset, and that allowed us to get some stops and run.
Jabari, you were 9 for 9 at the free throw line, and this team has kind of really come alive at the free throw line the last month or so. Last year obviously it was a record-setting effort. Slow start this year. How have you guys kind of turned that around? Not just getting to the line, but converting at the pace you've been the last month or so.
Yeah, we practice that a lot in practice. Really, just time and possession. We try to simulate as best as possible the pressure and the setting of like games like this in practice. So I just try to work on my free throws after practice while I'm tired. I try to shoot at least 21 out of 25 before I leave practice, and it's paid off really.
What was the mentality from you two in the second half? You guys, the big men, with Carlson going off, and then you guys stifling him, and you guys won the battle on the boards again in the second half too.
Yeah.
Let alone kind of stifling his game.
Yeah, just box out. They have some great offensive rebounders, but we were trying to force Carlson over to his right shoulder. So when I did that, I was successful on the defensive end.
Evan, how big was Neek's scramble play there and then setting up for the 3? I kind of love that when I watched it. It was right in front of us. But how big was that in hindsight to kind of get in that run started and getting you guys back?
Well, I was waiting for Neek to come back in bounds for about 5 minutes. He was out of bounds. I'm like, come back in bounds. I'm swinging it over to you. And, it was a good play. I mean, it was kind of a scramble and kind of just making play for one of your teammates. I just saw him and made the pass, and thankfully he knocked the shot down. So, I mean, that's what good players do. He's a great player, and he knocks big-time shots down. He makes big-time plays, and I love him for it. So,
Evan, how big of a win was this for the team in terms of, you got a long road trip, the last long road trip, started well but didn't end well. You got a little momentum now with a couple wins. You feel like you can kind of take this and keep it rolling on the road a little bit?
Yeah, well, I look at every game is the biggest game of the year because it's the next game. And that was a big-time win for us, just, getting another win in the standings and, good momentum going on the road. So, I'm happy. We still got work to do. We still got to get better, but I'm happy.
Evan, you guys have won 2 in a row, and not only that, but you guys have scored more than 70 points for the first time since really early on in conference play in a row. Is it, Pat mentioned the free throws, but it seems like overall offensively, you guys are kind of just the shots are falling now, maybe.
Yeah, the shots falling is, really a byproduct of playing for each other and playing a little assist game and, just moving the ball and making plays for your teammates. Like we talked about with Nick's play. That's just passing and catching and shooting the ball. So, and when we look for each other and play for each other, we're a really good team offensively. So.
Hey, Jabari, about a fourth of your points tonight came off a fast break. What was working well in transition, and do you think you guys were able to get them to break down, just grabbing offensive rebounds or just in transition?
Yeah, we try to set a goal of me and Ev getting at least 2 of those baskets just running in transition. And we preached that in film and in practice. So my goal was to just run as fast as I could and set up in the middle of the paint and wait for my guards to deliver the pass so I could score. So I just wanted to sprint and get to the front of the basket.
Anything else?
Yeah. For either of you or both of you, looking at that long road trip, you had one of these a few weeks ago. It didn't end well. It's a little bit different having the extra game on the front end of it. It kind of makes for a long time away from home. Did you guys learn anything from the last one that might help you better approach this one?
I think some things I learned is just our fight can never leave us. No matter the score, no matter the competitive situation, our fight can never leave us. And that's something I'm going to be preaching to our team this coming week. If we're on the road, stuff's not always going to be easy. We're going to have adversity, and it's important that we come together and face it together. So probably that.
Yeah, I didn't realize how tiring that stretch would be, really. So now that I'm prepared and experienced that, I think first I have to mentally prepare for this trip, take care of my body tomorrow, get some recovery, and I think it starts with that.
Any plans to watch the Super Bowl tomorrow as a team or anything like
Probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll probably be in study hall, actually.
Yeah, we probably won't talk about it until the first quarters, and link up at halftime probably. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we had time for. Thanks, guys. You got Coach Boyle right here, so microphone's up there. Hey, everybody, we got Coach Boyle. When he gets comfortable, we'll start with an opening statement and we'll open it up for questions.
All right, well, hard-fought win for us. It wasn't easy. We didn't play our best basketball, but we ran into a Utah team that, I talked about it early this week. They're better than their record indicates. They have not lost their fight. They're well coached. They've got good players. And we found a way to win tonight. And those 2 guys that were here, Evan and Jabari, made some big-time plays down the stretch, especially Jabari. We made our free throws. We executed down the stretch. We had too many breakdowns defensively for us to think that we're going to go on the road and beat anybody. So we have to shore that up. Some of it's scouting report stuff, but some of it's in-game adjustments that our guys have to do a better job of. And, again, I'll say this after a win. I'll never say it after a loss. We've got a young team that's learning on the fly. One senior out there battling with a bunch of freshmen and sophomores that are growing up. And it's not easy to win games in February. We've just won 2, and now we know the road trip that faces us and how this thing plays out. But we just got to be ready to go on Tuesday. And my job is to get them physically and mentally ready and emotionally ready. Their job is to make sure they're understanding the game plan, taking it with them. I think we've had 3 teams now that we've beaten the first time and have beaten us the second time we saw them, and here we got a chance with Oregon State. That's going to be a different team in Corvallis than we saw here last week, no doubt in my mind. We just have to prepare for that. The Washington team we saw in Seattle was different than the one in Boulder. The Washington State team was different. The UCLA team is always solid and good, but we got to do a better job.
Todd, can you walk me through those last 7 minutes when Jabari checks back into the game with 4 fouls and really aggressive, kind of takes over again with 4 fouls?
Yeah, and that's a little earlier than normal. We played him in the first half with 2 fouls. He did a good job there. So, I trust Jabari to play smart and play without fouling. And he did a good job of that. He really did. And so that shows growth. It shows maturity. It shows development, because you don't want to lose him. But, we had, number one, Tristan was exhausted. Evan was exhausted. We had to, I don't want to put Will Laughlin in that position, in the second half. I would have done it in the first half, but not the second half. And so Jabari handled it well, and we were just trying to steal a few minutes. We went zone a couple times at a timeout. Guys did a good job of that. We were just trying to steal minutes down there from that 7-minute mark in. And then we started with a couple minutes to go. We started going offense, defense to make sure he was in the game when we had the ball and out of the game when they had the ball, so he didn't pick up that 5th foul.
Ted, with Carlson, obviously 21 points in the first half, and you're
Yeah.
unstoppable. Only 4 in the second half. Just what was the primary difference in being able to stop him?
I think he got tired. I really do. I think the pace of the play. I think he got a little bit tired in the second half, and but in the first half we let him get going from the get-go. I mean, the first basket he made was off a ball screen at the elbow that we're supposed to switch aggressively. He should never get the ball below the foul line. Well, not only to get the ball below the foul line, he got it right in the middle of the paint, and he's up and under and just scored on us. It's like, that's not part of the game plan. Like, we're supposed to be aggressively switching on that guy, and so we gave him too many easy looks. The pick and pop is not, we're taking that part out of the equation. That was the game plan. Now, we didn't take the pick and pop out, and he made 2 threes. So we had too many defensive breakdowns in the first half, and we had too many defensive breakdowns in the second half. We let Madsen get 4 threes in the second half. He's not supposed to get any. And they were all off, just stuff that we understand and we know how to guard, and that's what I'm talking about in terms of we have to get better with the scouting report part of our defensive game plan. Because you can talk to 4 threes or 12 points. Carlson made some tough shots. I can live with tough shots. I really can't. I can't live with the ones that the game plan is supposed to take away. And we had 20-plus points in that regard. Easy. And I'll go watch the film, and it probably might be more. So, but Carlson's a good player. He really. I mean, they've got good players. Don't let people say Utah doesn't have Utah's got good players. They're just a little snake bit in terms of figuring out how to win here down the stretch of games, but they're not quit. They've not lost their fight, and we got them again in Salt Lake to finish the season on their senior night. So, but that's down the road. Tonight, we figured out a way to win. Our team has done that time and time again this year, but we have to continue to get better with our defensive game plan.
Ted, you talked about hustle plays. And Neek had a moment, I think, about 9:50 there at the start of that run where he gets that ball out of bounds, and it's a 50-50 ball that comes back, and then he swings the three. It just started getting that.
That was a big play in terms of changing the momentum. It was a big-time play by Neek. Great aggressiveness. We want him to go to the offensive glass. Look, part of the, again, defensive game plan, Marco Anthony had 8 offensive rebounds against Oregon. He had 10 tonight. Our whole team had 8. I mean, he just kicked our tail. Now, Neek's play, big-time play. Second half, long rebound. Keyshawn got it, kicked it to Jabari, made a 3. Those 2 plays, I thought, really kind of kept us in the game, got us back in the game, got our mojo going. And those are the plays you have to have. The long rebounds you have to get. The 50-50 balls that Neek went and got and saved it. It's a big-time play. Big-time play of the game. You look at his line tonight. I mean, 4 for 4 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3. He only had 1 offensive rebound. It was a huge one. He can usually get more than 3 in a game, but Neek gave us some good minutes. Luke gave us some good minutes. Julian did some nice things. We just got to get a little bit more production off our bench, I think. KJ made some big-time plays down the stretch, but your best players have to carry you down the stretch. Tonight, our best players carried us. Jabari did a great job. Evan, Keyshawn made plays. Tristan made plays. It's what you have to have. You have to make plays down the stretch to win games like this, and we did that tonight.
You mentioned KJ. Did he maybe take a little step forward tonight, the way he was able to break his guy down off the dribble in those late sequences?
Offensively, no doubt. Defensively, he's got to keep getting better. He let Madsen get loose there at the end. Shouldn't have happened. He's got to guard the ball better. Wooster got around him, and so Kate, again, I'm not worried about KJ offensively. He is a good player and will continue to get better and will eventually be a great player at Colorado offensively. My challenge with him is you got to guard with the same kind of mentality you play offense with, because his offensive mentality is aggressive, fearless. He did some good things defensively. He's just got to become more consistent. So he's growing up quick, no doubt about it. I mean, KJ Simpson's a big part of this year's team, and as much of a big part of our future as any player we have. We got a lot of guys that are a big part of our future, but he's a big one.
Chad, I know you don't talk about free throws often with your guys, but
Nope.
Jabari, 9 of 9 tonight. Tristan De Silva, 7 of 7. Just how pivotal was it to be able to hit those free throws in a close game?
Free throws were a big part of tonight's game. They got to the line much more than we did in the first half because they were the more aggressive team. Now, we dodged a bullet with Utah. They're the number 1 free throw shooting team in our league, almost 80%, and they shot 52% tonight or whatever it was. We dodged a bullet. I mean, because if they shoot free throws at their normal rate, we're not down 3 at half. We're down like 10. So we got lucky there. Second half, we were the aggressor. We got in the bonus early. We got to the free throw line. It's a big part of what we do. Colorado is one of the top teams in the country in free throw, efficiency in terms of getting to the line, given our possessions that we have. We do a really good job of getting to the line. There's been a couple games where we didn't, and you kind of scratch your head. Maybe it's on us not being aggressive enough. Maybe it's the way the game's being called, because that changes night to night. I don't talk about free throw shooting when we shoot them well. I don't talk about it when we shoot them poorly. That's an individual thing. You step up there and knock them down. I got confidence in our guys. They got confidence in themselves. But it's a big part of the game tonight.
Anything else for Coach?
Tad, 2 of your former guards got traded at the deadline to teams
Yeah.
who are really going for it. That's got to be really cool for you to see that, they're valued commodities like that.
Yeah, Spencer, I've reached out to him, have not heard back. I actually reached out to him before he got traded. Haven't heard back. Sometimes he takes a little while to do that. But it's a new beginning for him, which I think is healthy for him to, the Washington situation might not have been the best situation for him for whatever reason, maybe both ways. So he's got a new beginning. That's one nice thing about being traded. Derek was, a little bit of a shock to him, and I think to everybody, maybe the NBA, but Boston really came after him because they think so highly of him. So I'm happy for both those guys. It's part of the business. And I did talk to Derek, and he understands that. He's a professional. So is Spencer. So I just hope those guys can take their new environments and just continue to be who they are and be great NBA players, which they both are, and I'm proud of both of them. And I'm really proud. Alec Burks is doing an unbelievable job with New York. He's had an unbelievable NBA career. So, thanks, guys.